Joined now by United States Senator Tom Cotton from Arkansas. Good morning, Senator. I hope Clan Cotton is well.
Hey, Hugh. It's good to be on with you. Yep, everyone's doing well here. I'm glad to know that the fetching Mrs. Hewitt has reunited with you and gotten you off your diet of frozen pizzas and put you to work.
Pizza, bagels, and vitamins. It's a great diet. I would recommend it to anyone. Senator Cotton, let's get serious. The People's Republic of China's Chinese Communist Party threatened you, Josh Hawley, a few other people last week. What was your reaction to that? Why did they do that?
I know. I've apparently been targeted for sanctions by the Chinese communists. I guess I won't be able to fulfill my long-held dream of having a nice vacation with my wife and boys up at some gulag re-education camp in Xinjiang province. Hugh, I think that the Chinese Communist Party is beginning to feel the pressure from the rest of the civilized world, not just from the United States, but from other countries like Japan that's trying to reshore manufacturing from mainland China, or Australia that's calling for an international investigation into the origins of this virus. You saw that yesterday at the virtual assembly of the World Health Organization when Xi Jinping is trying to silence his critics with a $2 billion bribe to the WHO, far beyond anything they've ever proposed under ordinary circumstances. So their lashing out against me is just, I think, an indication that they are beginning to feel more and more pressure for their responsibility for unleashing this pandemic on the world.
Now, I had on Undersecretary Kroc yesterday at the Department of State talking about the chip deal Doug Ducey did in Arizona, and he ended up saying that, look, China is a malign regime hell-bent on world domination. Now, that's an exact quote. Truly a malign regime hell-bent on global domination. Do you agree?
Yeah, of course. China is a pariah state, and their objective is to replace the United States as the world's dominant economic and military power. Keith is absolutely right.
Are they engaged in a massive I.O. against the U.S.?
Of course they are, Hugh, and they have been for years and years and years. And it's multifaceted, whether it's paying off Hollywood studios to portray China in a sympathetic light, or spending millions of dollars in propaganda in newspapers like the New York Times or the Washington Post, running traditional espionage information operations in favor of pro-China policies in the U.S., planning thousands and thousands of communist sympathizers at Confucius Institutes on our universities. China is running a massive information operation in the United States and has been for years.
Now, is there efforts by big tech to combat this that are, in your view, in any way sufficient?
They don't seem to be combating Chinese communist propaganda nearly as much as they're combating any skepticism about some of these more extreme lockdown orders in some of our states. I'll say that to you.
Is there any effort by any of them to do the right thing, in your view, and get the Chinese disinformation campaign shuttered?
Hugh, unfortunately, I don't think there's a lot of effort. Some are better than others. I won't go into the details. Let's just say that I think big tech in Silicon Valley is much too sympathetic to China. Even though China oftentimes discriminates against their products and services or tries to steal their designs, China is also a potential big market and a source of a lot of funding for them as well.
Is there any way out of this trap? China is a huge market. Everyone from the NBA to Silicon Valley to anyone who wants to sell anything anywhere has got to be aware. Is there any way out of that trap?
Hugh, we got to this point through 30 years of deliberate policy choices. So anyone who tells you we can't change our relationship with China is not being honest. We can unwind some of these relationships through another set of deliberate policy choices. It's just that simple. Now, some of these decisions in businesses are already being made. You know, many businesses are relooking at whether it's viable to have sole source or limited source manufacturing in China after 3 years of tariffs from Donald Trump. I think this pandemic will accelerate it. I certainly hope it will. But I'm working hard in Congress to change that relationship as well. So if businesses don't start making some of these decisions in what they view as their business self-interest, then they may have to start making it as a matter of law.
I've asked you this before, but I'll ask you again. Is there any sign that General Secretary Xi is facing a Khrushchev moment where his Politburo loses confidence in what he's done to their country and the reputation of it?
Hugh, I'm not able to share any information on that front. I'll simply say that oftentimes despotic regimes seem eternal until their instability is inevitable.
Well said. Well, that's sort of like Delphic. So we'll just leave it there, and I'll study that, and I appreciate it. Senator Tom Cotton, always a pleasure. Talk to you next week. Senator, don't go anywhere, America. Coming back with Byron York, Susan Crabtree, and English historian Tom Holland. Because nothing lasts forever, and Tom Holland chronicled that in two great books about Rome, as well as about the rise of Christianity. Dominion is the last, but also Rubicon and Dynasty. I thought we needed to look way back at the plagues and the disasters and the fires and just the terrible things that have happened in the past to remind ourselves everything passes. It passes especially fast in this age when vaccines arrive quickly and markets rebound suddenly. More coming up. Hour number 3 of the Hugh Hewitt Show straight ahead.